but certainly not as a human being. It just means you are. What's your worth? What's your value? Does it depend on what you do in the world? It may, that you do good things, constructive things, versus being a useless douchebag or a parasite. Yes, that might have something to do with it, but that's in the long run. But when you come to Earth, are you worthless? Until you're fed, they put this big funnel, and then knowledge gets poured in there, and culture, and all this stuff, civilization. And then you eventually worthy when you graduate from whatever, kindergarten, PhD, I don't care what it is. That's your worth? That's your value as a human being? Well, then good friggin' luck in finding self-esteem. As long as you think that your value, your worth as a human being depends on what you do, what you can, what you know, what you have, none of this is you, man. This is all ego. It's all descriptions about you. It's data. It's stuff. It's bolt-on, aftermarket shit. But it's not you. None of this is you. You know what builds self-esteem? I like the way Nathaniel Branden does it. He has 6 pillars of self-esteem. I'll list them briefly. You can get his book, The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem. Excellent book. 6 pillars. Number 1, the practice of living consciously, aware, becoming even aware of who you are, what moves you, what you're all about. You're a living, breathing being. That's really, really important. He does it with sentence completions. There's other ways to do it. But I like his 6 pillars, and that's number 1, the practice of conscious living. Number 2, the practice of self-responsibility. People think, responsibility is like, guilt or a duty or a task. No, it's taking your power as who you are, not ego power, but like true personal power. Who you are. It says, I can make a change. Self-esteem is a choice. It may take me a month, a year, or a decade to get it, but I will get it, and I have a choice. I'm no longer a victim. That's self-responsibility. It's all scratching the surface, man. It really is. I wish we had a little more to do this. There's others. Practice of self-assertiveness, standing up for yourself and others, by the way. Courage, self-assertiveness. If somebody says, yeah, you're nothing, he says, no, sorry, take your opinion elsewhere, but I know who I am. I don't want to spend too much time on that one, but the one that I spend in my workshop a hell of a lot of time, and I do probably about several hours of this, is self-acceptance. People say, well, but there's something wrong with me. I don't like myself right now, so why I can't accept that? Well, what are you just doing? You're wholesale rejecting yourself. You're pouring incredible amounts on something that you can't even control that way. You are the way you are right now, including your desire to change, including your desire to develop. But right now, you are the way you frickin' are. And there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it. 10 seconds from now, you can do something about it, but this very second, you can't. This is what is. Like Byron Katie, loving what is, the work. Great. That's reframing on a whole new level. That's taking NLP to at least one flight of stairs higher. Accepting that which is, who you are. Saying to yourself, I'm whole and perfect as I was created right now. I'm right here, I'm right now, I'm here because my Creator wanted me. I have a right to be here. And even though I may not I have desires and thoughts and things, and my apartment is a mess, why I can't accept that. Well, then you're pouring energy into the uncontrollable. And you can't move on until you do that. We spent hours on this in the workshop, and it's unbelievable how resistant people are. The ego, I can't accept that. Well, you're pouring, you're getting 5 miles to the gallon, for Christ's sake, like a Hummer. You're not getting anywhere until you get that. Self-acceptance. Pillar number 4. Pillar number 5, really important for self-esteem, the practice of self-integrity or personal integrity. A lot of pickup guys are real nice guys. Oh, you're so beautiful. Can I, do favors for you? Take you to dinner, lunch? Well, that's very inauthentic. And then they sort of get it and they learn some skills, and then they turn the other way. They turn to be a total jerk. Yeah, bitch, come on. And then they're treating women really badly. Well, I used to do the same thing when I went through that. And you know what happened? I felt like Alfie. I felt like a douchebag because I was. And eventually it created subconscious guilt. And I started undermining myself because I really didn't feel deserving. That's low self-esteem. I did this whole thing in the first place to get there. Just me thinking that I needed to resort to tricks and then turn to an asshole. That's where most pickup guys are stuck in. It's compensation. First you're the nice guy, that's the problem. Then you're over here on the other side, which is a compensation, overcompensating, training wheels, crutches. But then you need to move one step up to the integration. When you get those two sides, then you're a nice asshole. You're a cool guy. And then you don't have to, you build up self-esteem. You don't need to play those stupid games anymore. Then you have game because that's who you are, not because of something you do. And number 6 is the practice of living on purpose or purposefully. Purpose. Your life's purpose. People say, I need to have a vision, I need to have goals, I need to have all these things. Well, those may come from ego. But purpose is something very different. You ever heard of Martha Beck? She's the original life coach. Great, great woman. One of the best coaches I've ever come across. She has this book, Finding Your Own North Star, or like Steering by Starlight. That's when you find who you are. Your old self, your ego needs to die. You need to really get into that point where you really feel who you are, what you're all about, what really gives you energy. You'll never have to motivate yourself ever again. You never need to prop yourself up with NLP or anything like that if you find your life's purpose. It's like getting on the power curve. I started this thing a year ago called kiteboarding, and it's amazing. And the first time I wasn't even on the board, I was just in the water, and I was like doing in Cranton Park in Miami. And I was like, whoa, and then the thing kind of starts figure eighting, and then all of a sudden it gets on this power curve, and I was literally, I swear to God, I was thrown to about where you're sitting back there, Franco. And I was probably about literally camera level out of the water. And I was like, fuck, holy shit. And it was like the biggest rush. I mean, I've done other shit before, skiing and motorcycle riding and jet skis, car racing. No, this was a whole new level. This is like the quarter mile in 5 seconds. This is like, fuck me. And that's kind of the feeling you get when you get on that power curve of purpose.